Into the Nexus is a production of amove.tv. Bookmark Amove TV for other great video games and esports podcasts. Into the Nexus is sponsored by listeners like you via patreon.com/ITN. Welcome back, everyone, to Into the Nexus, the podcast all about Heroes of the Storm. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and I'm sitting here with Kyle Ferguson. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. We had a lot of fun Friday.
We did have a lot of fun Friday. Quite a bit of fun, and our patrons had fun, and our non-patrons who just listen to the show have fun. Everybody had fun. Unless you lost, or unless you had the exact same number of wins and losses in the exact same games against the exact same people as Kyle Ferguson, yet for some reason we're placed 2 entire leagues below him.
That was mad bogus. I ended up in Diamond 4 on the cusp of 3, and you ended up in Gold 5, and we played the exact same games.
Yep.
But it's seeded from Hero League, and so Team League you can group with random people all the time. It's trying to make sure that it gives you that MMR so it can even you out when you get with your bronze friend and your gold friend. But either way, Blizzard, come on.
Yeah.
Just do the StarCraft business, man. Just give us a league.
It's a little, I like that word, bogus. Bogus is a good term. Good term for it. We should all adopt it. A word that has existed for a long time and you did not coin yourself. But.
No, bonkers is my other favorite one, but that is reserved for yesterday's stream where I went 2-5 in Hero League. That was bonkers.
Ooh. So
major disheartening, man. When you start playing the meta picks, guess what you are angry about seeing? Those special snowflakes that grab up the things that you want to play instead, right? Like the Gazlos or those first pick Lunaros. It was a brutal day. Weekend Warriors, man. It's time to make an older call that I was hoping we wouldn't have to because of the efficiency of grinding on days off. But it's time to cut the weekends. We got 2 weeks left.
Yeah, indeed. So, by the way, if you're watching the live video stream and you're wondering why you're seeing ads, it's because Skype is stupid. Also, Kyle, we've been dealing with some internet issues, so your video is not coming through for us. But hopefully we'll get to see some lovely patron faces because this is our patron hangout.
That's true.
And that means all of you fine patrons tuning in live, you can call in at any time. The Skype info is over at patreon.com/ITN. And just add the Skype info. Make sure we're contacts before you call in or I cannot add you to the call. But feel free to call in whenever. If you have a question, if you have a topic you want to discuss, call on in, guys. So... while we wait for our first caller, Kyle, how you feeling about that? Are you about to throw your hands up and just say, screw it, I'm done with the meta picks. I'm going to play what I want to play because people are going to do it anyway, and they're going to do it worse than me.
But the success of those meta picks has been very strong. I mean, Falstad, even just it's mind-boggling, man. It's so uncreative. I've said it before, but my Falstad is not stellar. And in fact, I had one of my viewers go through and review one of my Falstad games recently. Thank you for that. It's that low tier, but my win rate is 80% with him right now, just because everyone knows what to expect. And Mighty Gust is extremely powerful in a dive meta.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone knows what to do with a Mighty Gust, unless you're me on Kael'thas on Sky Temple, and then you just die.
Well, that's a bit different, right? I mean, just that... because the meta we're in with the Grey Mains, with the, well, not so much Illidan's anymore, but the Kerrigans. Like, this, either way, even though Kerrigan's lost some power and we're moving away from it, putting together a dive comp is still extremely popular. So the fact that you're just able to turn that off, any ability, Kerrigan's Maelstrom, Stim from Morales, anything that has a time duration, you can just go, nope, not today. Okay. Go away, please.
All right. I like that.
So, I understand that base level of using the Mighty Gust, so the rest of it is all just icing that I'm still working through. Thrall's got a great win rate too. He's so fantastic. I mean, Thrall just... He has the kit, right? He's Johanna of Assassins.
Yeah.
It's a little sad because Butcher, I have to pay attention.
Yes,
I have to work harder. Granted,
You have
Lamb,
a greater burden of execution.
yeah, Lamb for the Slaughter is incredible. Slaughterhouse of 20, I love that way, way more than Sundering. And in fact, when I play Thrall, the early game feels real nice as opposed to Jaina. But when you get past that 16-minute mark, you are dealing with the same environment as Jaina. It all comes down to how clutch is your Sundering going to be, and will it ruin everybody else's heroic?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, and that was something we were, because we don't play a lot of times with full 5 stacks, usually one other person. That was something we were having to make sure that we call out in the future, like because we were multiple times we had Thrall and ETC on the same team, so obviously we had to kind of be concerned about when Mosh Pit came down versus when Sundering came down.
I love that event, man. It was a real experience. I haven't gotten to shot called to that level. In fact, in our very first game on the Friday games, I was like, oh, you guys just got to kill that Sonya now. And everybody dove for and died in fort range. And I was like, what was that? Well, Kyle, you said get him. So I realized very quickly I was the shot caller and expected to be shot caller. I had a great time with that. That was extremely cool. It was really cool to see people who joined us out of silver and bronze perform at such a high level when given instruction like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time we brought in someone who was ranked bronze, after the first one, which I believe was Taxes, there was no concern anymore. There's no need to be, because Taxes just came in and crushed it as Chromie.
It really is. Most players play a lot, and they have good mechanics like control. But map awareness and what to do when decision making, that escapes the various leagues. So it was interesting how when we all got together, we could overcome that barrier and see really just stellar play out of silvers and bronzes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have our first caller, Kyle, and his avatar is so fitting for the issues we've been dealing with leading up to this recording starting. Lintroll, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Whoa! Your microphone is hot.
I am terribly sorry. I'm on a phone and I'm in like an echo room. How's this?
So much better. Man. So much better. Stay wherever it is you are right now. Stay there and stay possibly forever, because you sound fantastic now.
Yeah, day and night.
I want to stay forever. I'm at work, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't blame you there. I don't blame you.
It's the first chance I've had to call in. I'm really happy for the opportunity.
Well, fantastic,
I missed out on the team league play, but I've been joining up with A-Movers over the last 2 weeks.
Sweet. Well, I'm glad. So that chat is coming in handy for you.
Yes, the chat is actually very helpful, as every one of my local friends that plays abandoned Heroes about a year ago, and they have not looked back.
Aw, that's unfortunate.
I am a solo warrior, except when a move comes in. So,
well,
yay.
I'm glad we can at least pad out your friends list a little bit.
Yes, me too.
Interesting. Are they non-Blizzard gamers for the most part?
No, they just they flit around, and actually a lot of them have fallen into the board gaming scene, which ties up a tremendous amount of time. And they don't live near me, so I don't get to play with them there. So.
I don't understand board games and taking a lot of time. I've never experienced a long 6-hour session where you just go, you know what, you win Settlers this round. I need to go home and sleep because it's 3 a.m.
Nope, Lord of Sheet never gives up.
That's fine. There's the Game of Thrones games where you're about ready to live out the actual Game of Thrones and see which one of you is the Martin favored and which one is not.
Nice. Well, did you have a question for us?
Well, I did, of sort, and you're right. The avatar and the whole check your tilt and all that really plays into this, because I was placed down in the silver range, and I have been unable to escape despite a sizable amount of games played. And I just found myself wondering this season, once you've placed, is there any point to continuing to challenge in the Hero League, at least as a solo queue warrior?
I mean,
beyond just going for ranking up, because you feel like at this point you put in the hours, you haven't ranked up. So what would be the point of continuing?
Well, exactly. I mean, I've put in the hours, and I'm sitting at about a 49% win rate over a span of about 300 games.
Mm.
And it's very much like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 5 steps back. And
Yeah.
it's a personal triumph when I look and say I got back to 500, and then you get that one or two people that figure they know the best way to do it, and it doesn't work out.
Definitely. And that doesn't change. Bronzers yell at each other because so-and-so doesn't belong in bronze. Diamond players yell at each other because so-and-so doesn't belong in diamond. And Grandmaster players yell at each other because they should be higher numbers. We got Gorath this week. In fact, I should say he got himself up to promotion, and then we lost it spectacularly with a complete throw by our Lunara, who was, I am still having trouble actually saying these words, tilted by cleanse.
What?
This Lunara went to Hot Slogs and saw that the level 7 talent pick for Gorath's support was not cleanse in the top win rate. And so they threw the game because Gorath picked up cleanse because there's an enemy bone prison. And it's not the highest win rate talent at tier 7.
Hey, Kyle,
how can you get upset with cleanse?
I don't know. I am still flabbergasted to this day. I'm trying to recover. I stopped that stream and I went and played Factorio all night just so I wouldn't have to think about this thought. Who knows?
I'm just sitting.
Silence.
I'm
so weighted.
I'm sitting here because I want, I try my best. I try my best, Kyle, to keep my unbridled opinions metered in this show so we can have a civilized conversation. But that person's dumb. If you're listening, you're stupid. You're a bad player. And you're selfish. And you're ruining for other people. You're bad and you should feel bad.
Good. Now that we got the reaction I wanted out of the way, he was playing Malfurion, so I was holding back on that information.
Oh, well. I'm sorry. Was there a bug in the game that removed every other freaking option possible in the realm of support?
Actually, the supports were heavily neutered in the draft. Yes,
heavily neutered, yes. I know. But you can only, in the worst case scenario, have 4 supports locked out, and that still isn't an excuse to take Malfurion.
I'm glad we got 2 honest reactions out of this. But, of course, the point of keeping playing for not climbing is because you're enjoying it, right?
Yeah, well, that's. Yeah. I think that's where if we can come back to Sanity Land. I mean, that's kind of the end all. That's the end of this discussion, right? It comes to what is your personal? What's your goal? What do you want to accomplish with Heroes of the Storm? For Kyle and for me, for the most part, although I have been playing up until the last few weeks a lot more on ranked than Hero League because I was getting tilted. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure this is the case for you, Kyle, and for the most part is the case for me. We want to play Hero League because that is what we want to get out of it. The majority of the people in Hero League are the tryhards, so you're going to get the most competitive experience that you can get as a solo queuing player or as a duo queuing player in Hero League. But that's not me saying that's a correct way to play. That may not be your goal. You may just want to have fun. You may just want to have good games. You may just want to play Arthas that day and nothing but Arthas. So Hero League's probably not the thing for you. You may want to get dailies done, and Hero League may not be the thing for you. Or it might be. So it really... and we have this conversation on the Angry Chicken all the time as well, because people, they come in and they're like, well, I don't want a net deck. I want to make my own decks. And we're like, cool, that's fine. That's a perfectly acceptable way to play the game. But that can't be your goal, and also hit Legend as fast as possible, because the two, it's not going to happen.
I want to compete. That's really where it comes down to. It doesn't feel that there's, and again, this is very much a feeling kind of thing. And maybe I have to accept that this is where I'm at, but it seems very hard to improve your skills when you remain locked in the, when you're in the same area. And I don't want to sort of ascribe to the MMR hell, because that's been beaten to death, and there's some validity to it and some just impressions. But it doesn't seem that there's a whole lot of ability to move beyond where the Blizzard system puts you. I can't remember which one of your guests that said. I think it was Jeff Kanata. He said, that you're fighting against Blizzard's system, which is fighting to keep you where you are when you want to be fighting to advance ahead. And I found it to be a very profound statement. Can you beat Blizzard Skynet?
Yeah, and a more useful conversation than, are we stuck is there a system that we should, as a community, push Blizzard to adopt or to change for? And we don't want a fake system. We don't want, a bunch of sparkles at the end of the day and congratulations, no matter what your points show up. Well, maybe, right? Yeah. But,
And I would not necessarily be against more sparkles in my Heroes of the Storm.
Not at all. It'd be nice to feel more rewarded even after a loss. That's what the MVP system's hoping to do. And there are problems with the system, and one that we all know of is that the rank is not your MMR. And when I play Diamond 3 MMR and Dreadnought plays Diamond MMRs, those two are wildly different. Mine is at the 3,000s, his is at the 4,000, but they're still in that rank. So in some ways, maybe that makes a better match because we all have played enough to grind up to that point, but then it places us with that MMR of people who have ground out. I mean, there's a saying in World of Warcraft that everyone gets one mistake. But if everyone makes one mistake, we wipe 10 times or 25 times, depending on the size of your raid. So those mistakes can't happen, and Hero League is full of people making mistakes all the time. In fact, I had a game yesterday where it was ETC. We were up against ETC, Ring of Frost. Doesn't matter what else is in there, right? That is a game that we all danced. And that dance went on forever. Granted, we had a Medivh on our team, so we could see them dancing when they knew we could see them dancing, waiting for an engage. So both teams just got stupid. Nothing happened for 5 minutes because no one wanted to get out of position, because the second you did, ETC, Ring of Frost, would rain down on you. And eventually what happened was I made a positional mistake. I snagged a kill. Everything rained down on me. Thrall exploded. He's dead forever now. But their eagerness to destroy me added to a 1 for 2 and then became a 1 for 3, and we won that game. But that dance was brutal.
That sounds exhausting.
But it was an evenly matched game, and it was a great time. And wins are always hard fought. I do not have, for the most part, the big swings like we used to have in the old system, where some days you would just log in and it's like, all right, we stomp you, you get stomped, we stomp you. There are the outliers, but the games are really good right now.
Fair enough.
So we need to somehow decide what we want, because Blizzard wants to give it to us, but they don't know. I mean, is there like a system you would suggest? Have you ever played another MOBA with another League system or MMR?
No, Heroes. I mean, I dabbled in League for a while, and I like the I can't remember his name, was the Time Turner guy. I thought he was cool, and nobody seemed to like him. So I put on the hipster glass. I'm like, I'm gonna like this guy, and then I got fed up with League of Legends and wandered back to WoW. But
sure.
No, Heroes is the first MOBA I've played, and I don't know that much about the whole MMR kind of systems, those things. It just, I was resigned in the preseason to whatever rank I was at. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't particularly high, because I was still learning. And I feel, Kyle, you've mentioned in the past, like you tanked your early MMR because you played all those really, really cool odd heroes like Abathur and such. I came in not knowing what I was doing, and naturally gravitated towards the competitive areas and got schooled, which is fine. I should get schooled, but I don't know what I'm doing. But what's the recovery method, right? How long do I have to pay for my mistakes, as it were?
And that's something that will be worked out with time, and hopefully a wipe of sorts of games that are older than X. And I know Jeff Kanata called for that same thing. Just don't hold me to my previous mistakes. I'm an adult now. Darn it! And I should have been tried as a youth when I did those Asmodan and Abathur games.
It's exactly how I feel with the results of Team League. Just like you're really gonna hold me to where you put me in Hero League, like
that is truly disheartening. That the fact that
it might.
Sorry.
Yeah, my team league. It's my team league landed me pretty much right where my Hero League is. So, and I went 7-3.
that needs to change. And if you play more Team League, you can even it out to be where maybe all your friends place you. But that is just a clear show that there is too much seeding going on right now. And these things need to be a little more unique and maybe even a little more brutal. And maybe over time, as rough as that would be, a promotion demotion per game when you first get into the system, boy, that'd be brutal. What if you go on a losing streak as soon as you place, right? And you're just flying downwards. And then it's like, oh, good, we found where you belong, and starts slowing down. You're like, no, this is silver. Never mind, I didn't want this. I just messed up. It's not my fault. But Team League was extremely special.
Yes.
And if there's one thing I take away from all this is that I loved getting to play Team League. It was the experience of Hearthstone, of StarCraft, where nothing was wrong because it was all our faults. And if someone messed up, it was our fault.
Yeah, as a unit, and because it was a safe environment for us, right? These are all people. We all have a shared interest. Clearly, they're all listening to the show that we're putting out into the world. We all have some basis for a friendship we didn't know we had with one another. So it's easy for us to get in there, and after the game, if we lost, say, okay, well, what went wrong? What could we improve on? Or it's 2 a.m. and it's like, cool, we lost. Well, we need to just start the next game because I'm about to fall asleep. But still, you get the idea. It was a really good experience. So, anyways, need to take the next call.
All I'd say is, I really appreciate the time, guys, and I love the show.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, and of course, dude, thank you for the support.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
Have a good one. Looks like Cheesy Bob.
Sweet.
Returning.
I know we spent a bit of time on that call, but that's a conversation that comes up all the time, and it's extremely important, even if it, does get talked about a lot, because we're all helping Blizzard to figure it out.
It is, and honestly, like the answer for me, like what is your goal? And for me, like I don't think I would care as much about my placement if it didn't lock me out of play games with you, Kyle. My goal is I want to be able to play Hero League with you, and I can't. So, anyways, welcome back to the show, Cheesy Bob.
But you can play Team League.
We can.
That's true.
We just need 3 other people. Kyle and I, we have these days, and they happen so few and far between now that when they do happen, they're very special. And this is going to write your hashtag bromance tweets now. Get them ready. It's very special when Kyle and I can find the time to just play a game together, just the two of us. So if you see us
doing the games bond pretty regularly, but that seems to have stopped.
Yeah, so that's because a World of Warcraft stream is coming next week that will be taking that slot where we will be playing together, but we'll be playing together with other people. Anyway, be excited for that, everyone, by the way. Next Monday, WoW Legion 5-man stream starts up.
Not next Monday, because that's a holiday, right?
Oh, following Monday. My
Yes.
bad. You're right. Yeah, Labor Day weekend this weekend. So not Monday the 5th, Monday the 12th. September 12th will be the first Monday where we do our 5-man Legion stream. Anyway, so my point was, it's really nice to just get to play with Kyle, and try and be friends and not just producers of a show.
Well, and we do impose rules on ourselves in those relaxing times that we don't let other people join our party because now we're watching you. And that's a stress, right? I mean, if someone joins your party and they mess up or they're doing amazing, it's just one more thing to pay attention to. Whereas, I mean, really, when we just queue by ourselves, we can just rip on anyone, right? We don't have to feel bad. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, it's something we like. And so I would very much like to be able to Hero League with Kyle, and at the moment I cannot, so there's that. Anyways, Cheesy Bob, I'm sure you didn't call to hear about our personal hang-ups with our friendship with one another. What's up with you?
Oh, I just wanted to talk about how much fun Friday was to play a bunch of Team League games.
I want to talk. Let's talk. Let's revel in our own awesomeness. That sounds wonderful.
Because, one of the best things about the team league environment in my mind is you can do like quirky picks and not have people pre-tilt and freak out.
The ability to first come, first serve was such a mind-blowing experience for me because this was my first team league experience outside the one we did as an after show once where we got completely stomped some 2 years ago.
We got destroyed.
And that's because we weren't moving as a death ball unit. We weren't even watching much esports at that time because there wasn't any. That was just its own thing. But the ability just for me to direct a draft for everyone to say, let's get that Thrall, let's get that Li Ming. They can't be countered very heavily. And then later on, we'll save that Chromie, we'll save that Lost Vikings, and maybe we can plug it in. That's
cool. That's one of those things. I think one of the best ways, like, so we had the game that I played with you guys, we also played with Taxes, and Taxes was on my team that we were playing with, like, before that game. And he only had, like, a few characters that he knew how to play. He had, like, Lunara, Chromie, and, like, one other, right? And you can't do all that well in Hero League with only like 3 heroes you can play very well. But in Team League, like unless your 3 heroes are like top contention heroes, like one of the things that I did is I picked up Chen because he goes pretty well into most comps. He doesn't, like, people seem to think that you can counterpick him by, like, getting stuns and stuff, but, like, honestly, I'm actually really happy when the enemy team unloads stuns on me when I start drinking because I know they're not hitting my teammates.
Sure.
Right. You're absorbing. You're doing your job as the tank.
Right, but it's one of those things where, but I think there are very, very few heroes where that works, where you can just, like, pick this hero that's, like, not commonly picked, but, like, I only ever once, it was when Kael'thas was really good, had someone rage out at me for not picking Kael'thas when he was available, even though I had said I prefer to tank. But go figure. But I just think that there's two really great things where if you're with a group of friends and the intention is, I think part of the thing is that, especially in the group that we had, people weren't caring too much about their rank. Right? They just wanted to get the games done and have fun. And when you have 5 people who are all on board with that, like, you might get stomped, but like, whatever. And, and then if you win, it feels great. And it's just a real great kind of camaraderie experience that I think is really positive. And I said multiple times that I think it's one of the best ways to play the game.
And once you get in there, once you organize that party, you feel why Blizzard did what they did and said, everyone gets a mount, because they just want to fill out that environment. And with everyone getting a mount, we didn't have to worry about getting bronze or silver or whatever may have you.
Yeah, especially when your system especially when your placement system is garbage.
When it's going to place you seeded from your other tiers, right? And you can't get yourself up by saying, all right, well, I'm done with quick match. I'm not going to get any rewards there. Let me go over to Hero League. And you feel the ramifications of your results there.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of actually seeing if I can get that to be like a semi-regular thing. Maybe trying to organize it on the subreddit, like every other week or something like that.
Sure,
Because
man.
It was so much fun that I would love to have that experience more often. And I think that the once in a while hitting another team of A-movers was also really fun, because then you really don't feel bad whether you win or lose, right?
Yeah, well, if you're asking for our blessing, go for it, man. There's no way we could do it every single week, especially with 10-minute queue times, which, if other than being like, of course, why I got gold, even though Kyle and I had the same, whatever, I just accept the system for what it is. I move past it as just being salty because it's fun. But the one thing, if there's anything that was a negative, anything that will keep me away from Team League or doing it more than I would like to, it's that. The queues are astronomical. We played 10 games. We spent an hour and 20 minutes of that evening in queue because 2 of the games dropped.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I would say that 1 or 2 Team League games is more fun than like 4 or 5 Hero League games, at least in my experience.
Oh, yeah, with the right crowd, absolutely. And I would argue, if I can toot our community's horn a little bit, which sounds dirty, and I'm okay with it, I think it is the right crowd. I think we absolutely are the right crowd. It's the kind of people I like playing games with.
It was awesome. And we have already discussed, making this a maybe seasonal event of sorts. I know there's only going to be 3 placement games next season as opposed to the 10. At least that's what they've said so far. But we'll do, I don't know, we'll do 5 or something like that. We probably won't go as as nutty as we did this time, but there will be future events like this.
Yeah, definitely. I think next time maybe we split it up over 2 nights or something.
Something like that, maybe. You can, man. Oh, I'm not even gonna watch that replay. Your blinds were, they were just flying, man, on that Lily in that last game.
Oh no, the last game I played Thrall and it was bad.
Oh, that's right. That was Sky Temple. The second to last.
The
game
second to last game I was Lily and I don't know. Q blind.
I think you just set up some drinking birds and just kind of clicked around.
Pretty
You
much.
were falling asleep hard on
Pretty
us.
much. I was crashing in a pretty hard way.
But now you get your mount.
I do get my mount, which is great and fantastic. So yeah, thanks to everyone that freaking showed up for that. I didn't really get to do a proper sign off because I was drooling onto my keyboard. But seriously, everyone that showed up for that and started teams with other A movers, you're all awesome. Thank you all so much. It was such a cool experience. Well,
Yeah. So that's really all I wanted to call about, is just sort of say it was a lot of fun, it was great, and the mini PSA that I'm, keep an eye on the subreddit, and I'll probably send an email to you guys if I get the stuff together before the next show. Maybe you mention it on the main show.
well, sweet, man. Well, thanks for calling in again. And as always, Cheesy Bob, one of our producers, thank you for the ridiculous amount of support.
Well, I'm a fan. So.
I also meant to ask you, have you seen the Into the Nexus shirt?
Yes! Oh my God! I looked that up after you mentioned it, and I was like, I want a shirt. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you noticed key names in the credits?
Yes, it was.
Cool. Just making sure.
I had a little fangasm.
Fantastic. Well, just wanted to make sure you got that. So, anyways, we'll talk to you later, Bob.
All right, bye-bye.
See you.
By the way, that subreddit is /ITNcast.
Indeed. The Into the Nexus subreddit. Check it out. Adding Brockness to the call. Hello again, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing fine. How are you?
Oh, podcasting. Rolling around, listening to Cheesy Bob tell us how awesome we were. Feels good.
Yes. Nice.
So what did you want to talk about today, Brockness?
Well, continuing my usual MO of derailing topics
Yes!
away from Heroes of the Storm,
Wonderful.
I
Hit
had a
us.
question about movies this year. I was wondering what your favorite movie has been so far, or if you just think that they've all been garbage, whatever your thought may be.
2016 hasn't been a particularly trash year for movies. I need to think. I can't remember. Okay, well, in the realm of good movies, here's what's come out this year. Civil War was this year, which I forgot. It actually kicked off the summer. Deadpool was this year.
Yeah, that was good.
I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's amazing, and I am predisposed to like everything Leica makes. Kubo and the Two Strings just came out. I need to go see it. I heard it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is that the same Box Trolls dudes?
Yes, yeah, and Coraline and Paranorman.
Do you think those guys ever get frustrated? I mean, I love stop motion, and I know they're using computers to aid said stop motion these days. But I think they ever just get pissed at seeing all these Ice Age movies.
I'm sure they do. And that's part of the reason. I'm a total hipster about stop motion. I think it is just better because it is a harder to perform craft.
Well, that's how I feel about drawing your giant robots as opposed to computerizing them. Anytime someone goes, come on, let's go, loads up and the thing goes, some computer graphics, or even when Bender spins in space, I'm just like, oh, come on now.
Yeah. I mean, someone still had to design it and then build it in 3D. But yeah.
Yes,
then...
and I'm not saying let's outsource bubble animation for Disney's, Little Mermaid to China again. But come on.
Yeah. So I don't know what my favorite movie this year was. Probably Civil War. I really had a good time with it. I really enjoyed 10 Cloverfield Lane. That was this year, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. That was the other one I thoroughly enjoyed.
That was a nice kind of ending statement, almost a wrap-up statement.
What?
Well, you didn't say World of Warcraft or the Warcraft movie.
It was a bad movie that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
But it's a
That's
bad
good
movie.
review.
It's not a movie I would recommend anyone who doesn't already like Warcraft go see. And I'm not saying that's an end-all objective statement. I've heard from plenty of people after I said that on our spoiler show. It's like, I took my mom who never knew anything about it to see it, and she loved it, and that's fine, and that's cool. I'm just saying, that's not my takeaway. I don't think it's that kind of movie. I thought it was barely digestible for me, a fairly large Warcraft fan. But, yeah. All in all, I would say 2016 is a bad year. Just in general. All in general. I'm sick of the election. Finding a house has not been easy. The movies have sucked. And a lot of really awesome famous people have died, including Gene Wilder today, which is really bumming me out. So, there you go. Civil War was great. Kyle, what about you?
I mean, you basically named my rundown. I did see some of the stinkers. I saw Zoolander 2. That was fun-ish.
Was it? I didn't see it. That's one of those... I was actually excited to hear that they were returning to it because I like comedy sequels most of the time, but I never go to the theater to see them. I'll rent them later, and it's a much more low impact. I go in with a lot less baggage. I'm like, yeah, let's just enjoy this. Cool.
Yeah, we have a lot of like Zoolander-centric inside jokes around this house, so they continued that well, and it was fun enough. But like many of the guests just kind of seemed tired, right? Maybe overworked. And I've always read into that sort of thing. I very, very much pick up when people are just sort of showing up for movies.
Well, it's fair enough. I can get behind that.
I'm excited for Doctor Strange.
I am excited for Doctor. That is this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic for
November.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'm a huge Cumberbatch fan, even after not really liking the second Star Trek film. I'm really excited for Doctor Strange.
But then there's... Wait, is this... I hope this is an error. Please be an error. Is this really Alice? Another Alice movie?
That already
it
came
did
and
come
went.
out, yes.
That already
Oh,
came
it
and
already
went.
happened? Oh, good
Yeah.
gravy.
Yeah.
Yep, and
That's
it's
even
as bad as
worse.
it sounds.
That
Oh, my goodness.
I am a Johnny Depp apologist, and that first one was a terrible film. An absolutely terrible film.
Ed Christopher Lee is the dragon. Like, how can you go wrong?
Yeah, how can
they
you?
did.
Apparently you can with way too much CG. Way too much bad CG. Oh, God. I get stylization, but there's also such a thing as bad stylization, and that's exactly what they did in Alice in Wonderland. That thing just looked like Maya threw up.
Well, that's like my mother came to me and she was like, "Oh, have you seen the new Jungle Book movie? The animals are so lifelike." And I'm looking at it like, "Oh,
I know you haven't seen it yet, though, have you?
no."
Neither have I. I've heard it's really good.
But they already made a live-action
I
Jungle Book, and it was
know!
great.
I loved it
was
when I was
great,
a kid.
darn it.
And I loved the animated version when I was a kid. And I loved the Tailspin spinoff, which had nothing to do with Jungle Book, but let's put Baloo in a aviator jacket and have him fly a plane. I loved that as well. But yeah, I heard Jungle Book was really good, and I think it's coming out on Blu-ray soon, so I'm going to totally go pick, at least rent that, take a look. So,
And we're getting the ultimate sellout movie this year, which, let's be honest, we'd all sell out this hard. The Angry Birds movie.
that looked like hot garbage.
Yes, it does.
Hot, celebrity voice-acted garbage.
That's the worst part, right? Beyond the Hedge, was it? The movie about a squirrel and whatnot?
I think I saw it once, and I don't remember anything about it other than there being a squirrel in it.
Bruce Willis. But let's do a better example.
Okay.
Movie that was actually a lot of fun, but poorly voice acted, the Lego movie. For the celebrity parts, right? The main characters were fantastic.
I loved it. I loved everything in that movie. I thought the Lego movie was perfect in every way. There was nothing wrong. Will Arnett doing the voice of Batman is the greatest piece of casting in the last 5 years.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, and Will Ferrell, that guy can voice act. I'm talking about like some of the bigger actors, like what's the documentary voice? That man cannot
Morgan
voice.
Freeman?
Morgan Freeman cannot voice.
Oh,
act.
he just phoned it in. But it was fine because he was doing Morgan Freeman as a godlike figure, and that's basically what Morgan Freeman does.
True enough.
It didn't bother me. But yeah, I would just also 2016. It had a lot to live up to. 2015 was an incredible year for movies. So of course I'm kind of sitting here like, yeah, it was all right. We had some good movies, nothing amazing, but nothing that blew me away like Mad Max or Star Wars. So, what about you, Brockness? What was your favorite movie so far this year?
I think Green Room.
I haven't seen that yet, and it looks so like my jam. I really want to see it. I heard it was fantastic.
Green Room. Is this a horror movie? No, crime.
It kind of is.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like a thriller, but it has some horror-like elements to it.
I love the
Patrick
idea.
Stewart
Yeah,
is crazy in it.
yeah, I love the idea of a bunch of like shitty, unknown punk band dudes accidentally getting booked at a venue with skinheads. Like that. Just
Yes.
That's all you have to tell me, and I want to watch your movie.
Huh.
So
Man, I was so spoiled. What would that have been, 2013, 14? I still can't get over it. I was in Florida visiting family, and we had 3 hours to kill, and we're just like, what the heck are we going to do at this time? Let's go see a movie. I don't know. This looks kind of interesting. How about the Cabin movie?
Oh, Cabin in the Woods?
Cabin in the Woods.
The greatest horror movie of the last decade?
Didn't see a trailer, had no idea what I was walking into.
Oh.
We knew absolutely nothing at all. Other than that director, I was cool with him. I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. So this is I'm usually one of those people who's like, movie's been out long enough. I don't care. Talk about it openly. Spoilers. I'm sick of you. You're ruining my ability to have public conversations and enjoy my life. That is a movie that I think is so fantastic that I still refuse to talk about it publicly in case somebody out there listening right now within the sound of our voices has not seen it and doesn't know anything about it. Just stop what you're doing. Hit stop. Come back to this later. Go watch Cabin in the Woods. Don't look anything up. Just rent it and get your kids out of the room. That's go now. God, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's so fun showing that movie to people who know nothing about it.
Yeah, but the thing
Reactions
is,
you get,
yeah,
so good.
Yeah, the thing is it's one of those movies that it's seeing it the first time, you can never recapture that feeling again. However, it is really fun to watch more than once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which a lot of movies that are like that, it's like, well, I see them once and then I'll never watch them again. But Cabin in the Woods, man, I could just have that disc spinning indefinitely in my my Blu-ray player. So.
Well, it's the levels of lore. There's just so much to dig into there, and going back for another watch is practically essential because you're just curious of what all the Office parts were like in the know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, Brockness, this was fun. Thank you for calling in, sir.
Oh, yes. No problem.
You always entertain us, so thanks.
It's a pleasure.
Have a good one, dude.
You too.
Alrighty. Let's get Guy or DG or however you pronounce it.
Oh, geez, I've been going with DG for a while now, so I hope I'm not wrong.
I always forget. Let's get him in here. Is it Guy or DG?
DG.
DG.
Nice.
Okay.
Success.
I really prefer Guy, I must say. It's funner to say.
Just following up on the last conversation I was just listening to, Lego Movie is great. I have to say, Lego Movie is a great movie. If you like Will Arnett as Batman, you have to watch BoJack Horseman on Netflix.
I haven't.
series.
I have not. I know.
Do it!
I've heard nothing but good things about BoJack Horseman.
Season 3 just came out last month.
I know.
Go
It looks so weird. Like it
Get
looks.
some alcohol, get some tissues, and binge watch all 3 seasons. You'll be a mess of every emotion ever by the end
It looks
of it.
so
It's wonderful.
impenetrably weird.
No, like the first 3 episodes really stink, and
Oh yeah. It's one of those shows where you have to get over that first few episode hump where they were trying to figure out how they were going to get into this series. But as soon as they hit their stride, seasons 2 and 3 just pick up and keep going, and it never looks back.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we finished BoJack this past weekend, and
Oh god,
man,
I
you
think
got like Rick and Morty really benefited
Oh,
from
yes.
the expensive animation they used in their initial episodes, because you go, wow, this world is so rich. Look at how many aliens and things are going on in the background. BoJack starts with what looks like zero funding, and they are giving you just plain old single character, one talking to the other, switch. But you get past like episode 5 and the funding jumps up, and there's so much fun going on in the back. A lot like Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers also starts really slow and grating. You're like, do we really need another show with 3 kids? One of them's Stewie, always causing trouble, or one of them's Lisa and always smart. And the mom's always nagging. Do we really need another show like this?
I would agree with you, other than the fact that I was smitten by Bob's Burgers immediately.
I was not, but it grew on me.
I don't understand how Bob's Burgers is as good as it is, because you're right. I definitely went into it, and maybe that's why I liked it so much. With do we need another family animated show? But it's so different from Simpsons. It's so different from Family Guy.
Well, the voice acting is incredible. You got, I'm not going to do names because I'm horrible at them, but the Bob's Burgers dude, which from Archer.
Yeah, the John Benjamin.
Yes.
And then you got tons of Adventure Time voice actors in there. I mean, they go through sort of the cream of the crop of comical cartoon voice actors.
Yeah.
And to tie it back around, the woman that plays Louise, the girl in the pink bunny ears, is a reoccurring character on BoJack. Child star turned pop sensation, Sarah Lynn.
That's the woman with the curly hair from Fly the Conchords, right?
Yes, and she's also
she's in the final 2 seasons of 30 Rock as well.
She's in Gravity Falls as well as Dipper's sister Mabel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and she's also the female lead in Last Man on Earth.
Yep. You put all these roles together, and yeah, it's amazing, and it makes the BoJack stuff all the better because she's playing like the exact opposite end of the spectrum from all those other hyperactive characters. They're all the happy hyperactive. Sarah Lynn gets into the crazy hyperactive.
Oh, that's great. Kristen Schaal.
Yes.
I couldn't remember her name. That's her name. I love her. She has a recurring bit on The Daily Show as well.
Nice.
Every time she shows up on there, it's hilarious.
Yeah, BoJack after Lego. And Cabin in the Woods, I agree. Just go watch it if you haven't seen it and you want to know what we're talking. Go watch it.
Oh, all right, fair enough. I just finished The Night Of. There's a television vacuum in my life right now, so I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
You guys have seen IT Crowd, right?
Yes, all of it.
We've all watched that? Okay, cool.
All of it twice.
Okay, then that's my recommendation for you back then. Since we're trading here, you need to watch IT Crowd because it is the level of depth you would hope from a nerd comedy show that Big Bang never reached.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I don't hate Big Bang, but it's outlived its usefulness.
I hate it because my mother watches it and then thinks she can relate to me. And I'm cool with my mother trying to relate to me. That's fine. But those jokes are so exploitive of the nerdy community that they hurt.
They're very on the nose. Very on the nose. But
to further recommendations, if you like Cabin in the Woods, you want to recapture that feeling. There's a board game called The House on Haunted Hill. It's basically playing Cabin in the Woods.
Sweet. Sign me up.
Interesting.
So check that out. Yeah, it's got 50 different scenarios in it, and it's got all this different stuff that can wind up happening, and it just captures the feeling of Cabin in the Woods so well.
Oh, nice. So a PvE board game, yeah?
Yes? Question mark?
Or are people trying to murder each other too?
Question mark?
Oh, okay.
You have to play it
to fully
understand it. It's a good board game. Try and find that out. My question, though, was, since we're talking a little bit of horror here, how do you counter the terrible horribleness if your opponents get Sylvanas and the Lost Vikings like terror? How do you counter that horror scenario?
Oh, man. You're talking Mutilus now. That sounds like you shouldn't have let it happen in the first place. But
I'm very aware.
Yeah.
But, it sounds like, okay, first ban, we want to... Well, in the case that happened to me was, okay, we're going to take Lost Vikings last on this map. So we're going to ban Zagara, and we're going to play this. And then they picked Viking. They were picking first, so we banned Zagara. They got their first pick. We picked a couple things. They picked something else, and then Vikings for their third pick. At which point we went, oh, what do we do now? And we're kind of in that. And then their fifth pick was Sylvanas. So we probably should have banned Sylvanas second. We were trying to, we were just caught completely off guard by them picking Vikings out from under us early.
That can happen. I mean, I think you just need to learn from that mistake and not let it happen again.
And that's a map problem, too, because Sylvanas turns off the buildings, which causes the terror to be more powerful, just like Battlefield of Eternity. So
and you're already behind because the Vikings are out soaking you, and they're pushing. If you're trying to counter the Vikings, they're pushing one lane in, and it's a mess.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is that that's not something you have to be fearful on other maps because Sylvanas doesn't benefit from a level lead as much as someone like Li Ming, who actually suffers when she's behind in literal skill power, 3.5% instead of 4%. So having a level lead, getting Lost Vikings and Li Ming together, that can be a death sentence because of that XP lead, and you can never recover from it. But with Sylvanas, that's just such a map pick problem. How do you control that in a Hero League environment when you might not
when
be in
you're
control
trying
of
to do the same thing?
Exactly.
You got to take your Sylvanas earlier rather than later, and
Well,
yeah,
and let's face it, the Lost Vikings are a pick that's not going to happen, possibly. Like, we can ban them all day. I don't want to see them on Garden of Terror. I don't want to see them on Towers of Doom. But the chances of someone actually playing them and playing them well is low.
It's rare, exactly, and that's
unless I'm in the match, in which case I'm like, let me have the Vikings.
And to bring it back around to our team league, like our what we've experienced from team league, damn it, that's why first come first serve pick is so interesting there. I mean, it will never work as is in a Hero League setting, but imagine if that was an option, if there was some way to force a vote to let a different person have first pick, that could help fix that problem. I don't know how you build that. That's not my job. I'm armchair designing. I'm aware of it. I don't care. Make it happen.
And I guess further, do you think it's okay to pick Vikings earlier in the draft for Garden of Terror, at least?
As long as you don't die.
I wouldn't say it's a first pick.
Oh, I wouldn't say first pick, but maybe in the second wave, if you're first, the second, third pick if you're first.
I think if you see either Sylvanas or Vikings picked, you pick the other one or ban it to save yourself that agony. But yeah, it depends on your team. You seem gung ho. I always defer to people who consider themselves efficient with a specific hero that may be out of the norm. So if you came into my game and you got in team chat and were like, yo guys, I've got this on Vikings, trust me, is it okay if I pick it in the middle of our draft? I would defer to you. I'm not saying everyone will, but at least you can make a case for yourself.
I've just had so many games where it's like, well, we start off pretty bad because they're getting a couple picks in the Vikings because people aren't splitting, but they still come back in the end, or we just dominate because the Vikings just control the map so much.
Yeah,
it seems to be one of those picks that just nobody knows how to deal with on quite a few skill levels.
Well, so let's focus in on what you can do in that situation, which is, of course, avoiding being reactionary, which is something we did so well over the course of the team league game. Every time someone took a fort or a keep even, we went and took their fort or keep because we weren't going to get stuck in a defensive loop. And that's extremely important against the Lost Vikings because if you get stuck chasing them, sort of, right? And there's a point to watch out for too, because unexperienced Lost Viking players are going to really be seduced by the idea that the early game is much calmer. And so they're going to do the split soak like they do. They're going to encourage their teammates to all fight together. But as they hit 10, things start getting a little too busy for them. So a lot of them end up going Viking longboat. It makes things easier. There's a system now in place because I'm going to split soak. My ult comes off cooldown. Let's get together. Let's get the Vikings, do a team fight. Now I'll go back and split soak. There's a very clear rhythm to it that people like a lot. If they go Viking longboat, now you kill them. Now you hunt them down. You slaughter them all because their death timers are so large and you can get them off the map. But if they go play it again, then you have to 100% invest yourself in being non-reactionary and take the map wherever you can.
You have to know where Eric's hiding because, we just got Balog and Olaf picked off. Yeah, now let's go take out those other 4 people. Eric can't do anything. Suddenly the Vikings have pushed in your top keep because Eric was hiding up there waiting to respawn them as soon as you pick them off.
Right, and in that case, they're losing team fight power, so you guys had to win all the fights while the Vikings did that. And it's not about sending someone back to defend. It's about us winning these fights right now because they're on a keep.
Right. Yep. And it's not even a matter of you need to win fights when you have Vikings on your team. Both when they're hunting the Vikings need to just draw it out, make them chase you while your team is doing work. And when the team's fighting, they don't need to win the fight. They just need to survive, hold off the fight, and let the Vikings, get you an extra level. Let the Vikings get you a fort or take down a couple walls. It's that constant trade-off of the Vikings team is going to play the long game as best as possible and just beat you by attrition.
Yep. Yeah, so
trying to fight against that if the team is working in a good coordinated manner is so hard.
Well, and the reason I bring it up is not because maybe the strategy to beat them, but finding comfort against them. I mean, it's the same thing that happens with Chromie right now. When I see Slowing Sands is very slow, and it sucks to get stuck inside, and you may still get decimated, but I still go, Oh, thank goodness it's not temporal loop.
Yeah, because that you hear the start hearing the ticking, and you're like, well, I'm probably dead.
The countdown to my death has started.
Yep.
Well, DG, thanks for calling in, man. We have one more call we want to take before we end up, but watch those bans in the future.
Yeah. Don't let them have both. That's the key, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Have a good one, dude.
Later.
Alrighty, Master DS will be our final caller for today. Welcome to the show, man.
He's got to make the run.
Did we catch you on the toilet?
No.
There's a lot of grunting and huffing and puffing.
Oh, nice. This is downscape. Oh, is that water?
No.
Oh,
It's a door.
I think it's just air brushing past as he's moving into a stairwell, and eventually.
So how you doing?
We're doing all right,
Doing
man.
good.
How you doing?
Okay. I did very well at the team league.
You did, man. You were in the Discord afterwards, just stoked as all get out.
Yeah, and 1 second, let me get outside. And that's been great, actually, with just laddering in general, just because, now that I got gold 3 in Team League, now I have nothing to lose as far as my status is concerned, and I can just do Hero League as much as I want.
That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah, so I went back into Hero League after a few months. I've been mostly doing it unranked since the start of the season. And I won a few, and then I lost a few, and it's all fine. It's all fun.
Well, cool, man.
But anyway, what I was going to ask is I sent this tweet earlier. So when it comes to, you've always said, like, the assassin, right, is how you carry or how you climb, having a good assassin. Do you think that applies only when you're first or second or third pick, or do you think you should also use an assassin as like a fourth or fifth pick and make someone higher up be the support or the tank?
In the
pick order.
That's a great question, and I'm going to continually fall back on the fact that the first 2 picks, or 3, depending on which side you're on, are for the map, and you should do your best to be informed, right? I mean, sure, they early draft Sonya. Great, maybe we can take Tychus. Awesome, because they're probably going to have another tank. But it's also guarding a Terror, and I'm going to do percent-based damage to the Terror now when it's being rode by a hero. Awesome. I now have 2 bits of information that put me on Tychus plus my skill set. Let's do this. That's the best thing you can do. But you're going to find as you climb that sometimes you're just really frustrated with your particular pool of players' skill sets in a certain area. Like, Gorath has been having fantastic success doing mostly support because everyone has climbed to Diamond to carry through their assassin, and now they want to continue to carry, and the support is lacking. And I'm extremely frustrated with the state of tanking at that level, and that's why I continue to invest myself in that too.
God, this sounds so much like World of Warcraft.
I sometimes feel that way with supports, where I'm just like, oh, come on, we need more healing. What are you doing? Just like, And I sometimes think maybe I should have supported. Maybe I should have. Like I did that with the games I won, where someone was showing a Rhaegar, and I was just thinking, Rhaegar's not really powerful. I think I could do a better Ariel if I go Ariel. And I did that, and that worked out really well.
Right.
And you're right to do so. If you see a suboptimal pick coming, even if it's just some assassin, the bomb, someone wants to Vala, and there's no reason for it, we already have auto attacks, just force them off that. I'm all for being, happy and believing in people's picks, but you have to change people's minds, otherwise they're going to bring something subpar in.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about that, we're talking, generally speaking, because we get for a while there, we were getting a lot of emails from people who were pretty much just playing support nonstop, and like, why can't I climb and whatnot? And that's just kind of the general rule. It's like, well, if you can get good at a high damage character and you can kind of be a shot caller in a way.
Yeah.
It's a good general rule to follow if you're just
Yeah,
trying to
totally.
climb. But anytime that you can use information that you have from your actual games and make an informed decision on what to pick based off of that, that's definitely the better route to go. And it sounds like you're definitely already on that. You're on that path.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, the supports are lacking. I'm going to go support. And hey, look, we won.
Not first pick though, I don't think. At least
No.
in like a mode where it matters. Unranked, I kind of do what I want.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to play that, that pre-ordered, pick game. That's the
Yeah.
way it works in Hero League, and you kind of have to play around that. So if you do get first pick, yeah, it's probably best not to go Oriole.
Get an assassin. Just
Exactly.
Get an assassin.
And
And one of the best assassins. A Li Ming, KT, something like that, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Maybe a
it's over-
Zool.
Yeah,
on
if it's
certain
overpowered,
maps.
and Zool is completely just mad crazy on Spider Queen and Blackheart's
Falstad
Bay.
is not a bad pick. I don't have a good Kerrigan, so I wouldn't pick Kerrigan.
Well,
Yeah,
and
neither
like
would
when I'm doing the banning and I get to Dragonshire, one of my first things for the second ban anyway is let's kill Dahaka. I do not want to deal with Dahaka, but nobody plays him. It's kind of like our Lost Vikings problem from earlier.
Yeah, it's like you
But-
don't want to use the ban on it because it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. I always
I think-
just see ETC bans, mid ban, that sort of thing.
Yep.
If you can control the flow of the battle with your early pick and you believe you can carry, that's the best place to be. Because let's say you get that early KT. Some of us are thinking a little scared. Oh, no, that's counterable. I'm scared. But the great thing about KT is he has a very clear comp he goes into right now, with some exceptions, but double tank is almost all of it because double tank's going to clog the front. It's going to spread the living bombs around with that much control, and KT will be safe. If you take KT that early on, you can direct the rest of your teammates. I've seen first pick ETCs and gone,
Yeah,
wait,
I
what's
was
going
gonna-
on here? But then the guy's like, hey, man, I'm ETC. Get me this. I want this. I want this. And I want this. And he just rocked it and carried us.
I was going to ask about first pick ETC because, like last week when I had some warrior quests and I got first pick, I was just like, well, I'm going to UTC, and it worked out really well. It's unranked, so who cares either way? But it worked. And obviously, when you first pick ETC, they can just counter pick into Mosh interrupts. But he has a good kit other than that. It's not just, he's not like Chen. If you interrupt him, he's not going to die. He's just going to be able to kill everyone. But as first pick ETCs, is this a case where they are able to kill everyone with like a good mosh or multiple good moshes?
He can't control that, but I think it's such a weighted place that it's going to cause people to respond. So, we did a lot of, different duo styles, Gorath and I, but what we sort of landed on was a dive assassin and a support. Because I dive in, he supports me, let's say, for, just for visual example, he goes Uther, which he never does. But anyway, if he puts a divine shield on my Greymane and I jump in, guess what ETC is going to do? He's going to go, oh, crud, there goes Greymane, here we go. And he's gonna power slide in. Even if he's upset about that decision, we just called the shots from our position.
I see.
And that's the burden of execution we always talk about. That's why dive comps are in right now, is because they're frankly just easy and they're the funnest part of the game. Hey, let's kill the enemy team. Is it wrong? No. Let's do it. Right?
Did we
Is
get
it
a
fun?
kill? Cool.
Yes.
It was the right decision.
I feel like I'm working at a daycare when I'm on Battlefield of Eternity because I've got an 86% win rate on that map because I always direct my team to get Lunara, Butcher, Greymane, like all the Li Ming, all these characters that can burn the objective but maybe lose every single team fight. But you win every objective, you win that map. But getting people to stop fighting and just do the Immortal is a task.
Yeah. That's about all I had, unless you want to just idly talk about something else. How about that Olarak? That's going to be pretty good. Not going to
We'll
buy
see,
him
man.
because... I'm not going to buy him until I can buy him with all my gold, which I have a ton of, but... PTR tonight should be great, huh?
Indeed. Indeed it
yeah,
should.
we're getting a bunch of customs, right?
What,
mean,
on Thursday?
I'm going to be getting ready
Tonight.
for Legion, but...
Oh. I was hoping we could do customs tonight, try out the new map.
Not tonight, but tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be hosting the PTR Customs on my own channel, twitch.tv/Kyle Ferguson, for my Tuesday stream.
It's a Warcraft heavy start of the week for me since I have Angry Chicken tomorrow, and I'm sorry, I just cannot wait for Legion.
And if that groan is about tomorrow, remember when we do the PTR days, I don't do just patrons. We just everyone in. We're just making as many games as possible. They're all customs.
And I'm just want to play the new map, and I don't think the matchmaking will be there tonight.
No. That's why
it's never there.
That's why it's going to be customs tomorrow, 5v5, putting it together, because waiting on that matchmaking is abysmal. And I'd like to play oh my goodness. Abathur, Anubrak, Alarak. Oh my, I'm dead. I'm done. You know what? Jaina, Johanna, I can't keep up.
Alarak.
Yep.
Yeah. Alarak, Anubrak.
Just call her J Tank and J Mage.
Jojo and Crazy.
There you go. You figured it out, Kyle.
There we go. Now we need a good... Well, I'll just go over to the core for my pet names. They have the best ones.
Alrighty. Well, dude, Master DS, thank you for calling in, man. Thank you for kicking ass the other night.
Yeah, man, you were awesome. That was awesome go.
Yeah, and
that was a fun one.
And may your Medivh shields always land at the most annoying time for your enemy.
I won. You know what the team league thing is right now? I had 3 wins as Chen, so that's my most win hero in team league.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's a good hero to have.
Figure and test. I think I ended with Thrall being my most winning hero there, which doesn't surprise me at all.
I got a Thunder Chicken staring at me.
I'm sorry. At least you have a Thunder Chicken staring at you next to Diamond, instead of Thrall standing next to bullshit.
Gold is fine. I like gold. I was really happy with that gold when I saw it, because I have never seen the gold before, and it was so shiny and kind of gold, and there's a little bit of purple in there, it seemed like, and it looked really nice, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. I'm glad to have this. And it's 3. That's not 5. That's not what I was trying to get. It's 3. 2 higher than 5.
All right. Well, sweet, man. Well, okay. I'm glad it was a good experience for you, dude. So, thanks for calling in again, dude. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye.
All right, Kyle. I think this is where we end it.
Sounds good.
Had some good calls today. Got wildly off topic from Heroes of the Storm, but I had a lot of fun. You had a lot of fun. Brockness had a lot of fun. DG called in and continued the off-topicness, so I believe he had a lot of fun with that talk. So I hope everyone out there enjoyed it.
Well, and bonus fun for you, because you don't have to edit the show, and thank you to Master DS for that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He has had a long history of dropping an F-bomb after calling in, which is fine. I cuss all the time. We just try and keep it off the show. I failed miserably at keeping the F-bombs off of the stream the other night, but...
It was 3 a.m., man. No one's going to blame you.
When you start at 9 and 6 hours straight stream, man, I'm sorry. I am incapable of not swearing for 6 hours straight. Can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I don't know. My grandmother is never around me for more than 5 hours at a time, so... I'm just not trained.
That's called strategy.
My brain doesn't work. Exactly. I only spend 5 hours at my parents' house for Christmas.
You just need to work as a camp counselor.
It ticks
once
over
or twice, man.
You're right. That
gets it right out of you.
That would do. No. I think for me it's the casual, not the casual, but being around people like you, people I would consider friends in a fun outing. That's how I talk when I'm, in a fun outing.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it rizzle, if you would. Anyways, thank you to everyone who called in. Thank you to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/ITN for supporting this show, for hitting this goal. So we do this extra episode each month. It's all because of you guys. That's the whole reason we were able to do a 6-hour stream the other night. It's ridiculous. So thank you for the support, guys. Really do appreciate it. Kyle, where can folks find you?
Well, let's just go with the immediate. You can find me in about 10 minutes over at twitch.tv/Kyle Ferguson, because that grind's got to continue and weekends are out. So we need to find time during the week. And of course, streams this week will be around the PTR. There'll be the grind on Wednesday and all that sort of fun stuff. And we just unlocked the 3rd stream of the week. So expect some special streams coming up soon.
That's awesome. Well, I have nothing else going on today. You can find me in Torrent Mill trying to power level my Warlock through Legion invasions while they're still around for a few more hours after I finish a bunch of paperwork for house stuff. Huzzah.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten to play it myself, but I did watch Kristen do whatever that crazy raid is, where you can see the, you know what I'm talking about. It was pretty neat.
Crazy raid.
Like you could just see the whole enemy. Like it was really cool. People were yelling at you, and there were two teams, and the alliance was there. And
Oh, the scenario.
yeah,
Yes, all that. You haven't done invasions or anything like that?
no, I haven't.
You should log into that and experience them just once because they are super cool.
Oh, I'll do my this. I made a goal, man, and I'm gonna see that even if I don't make masters, I'm going to give this thing my all.
I know. Afterwards, take 20 minutes, go do one invasion.
All right.
Take 20 minutes, eat something, then take another 20 minutes and go experience an invasion.
Thanks, Dad.
Yep. All right. Fair enough. Well, Kyle,
Forget to eat.
thank you for doing this episode with me. I'll see you Thursday, dude. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And until next time, good luck and have fun.
Take care.